Millions of Americans are affected by drugs and alcohol each year, and battling an addiction can seem like an almost insurmountable task. That's where the Phoenix House comes in. And here to tell me more is the Executive Director of the Phoenix House, Mr. Ronnie Colvin. Ronnie, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir, it is our pleasure. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Phoenix House and what you guys do over there.
Well, we're a residential facility for men and women who have substance use disorders. They come to the Phoenix House. They stay anywhere from 90 days to a year sometimes. We also have additional housing that we built across the street. It's for long-term recovery, that they can stay in those houses for up to 2 years. So theoretically, we could keep somebody for 3 years, maybe 4 years. So.
And would you describe you guys, are you a halfway house?
It's not the typical halfway house. It's still called a halfway house.
Right.
The Department of Mental Health calls it residential rehab, and you know, it's more treatment oriented now than your typical halfway house of the '60s, which is how long the Phoenix House has been around. We find people jobs. We help them with any kind of medical issues they have. We see that their legal problems. We try to help them resolve a lot of the legal issues, and most of them do have some legal problems now when we get them. Anything from, you know, they come in there with no ID card. So it's managing, starting to help them manage their lives and get their lives back in order again, along with treating their addiction.
Now, are these mostly young people, people that are just starting out in life and they've taken a wrong turn, or a lot of your I guess call them clients, or are they older? No,
they're young people. They've gotten younger and younger. The average age of our clients now is probably in the low 30s.
Really?
Wow. So, and the reason for that is one is because of the type of drugs that they're seeing out on the street now. And they get caught up in the criminal justice system a lot earlier. You know, typically, I went through the Phoenix House 28 years ago. And what we saw then was your typical alcoholic who had been drinking for 30 years. He was in his 50s or maybe 40s. But now you got people that are on methamphetamine and prescription drugs, and they get caught, they get put in the criminal justice system. They don't have room for them in prisons, which is in a way good, because we want them to try to get treatment first.
Right.
And if they can get treatment's a lot cheaper than prison. And so if they can get treatment and get their lives back in order, then they'll avoid that criminal justice system and being sent to prison and things like that. But yeah, they're younger and younger.
All right, super. Well, Ronnie, we're out of time, but thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. You can find out more about the Phoenix House online at phoenixhousetuscaloosa.com or by calling 205-758-3867. Remember, the Phoenix House is a United Way partner. When you give to United Way, you help great organizations like the Phoenix House.